Hi, my name is Emily Bohas, and I'm nominating Darryl Lessard for the What Team Member of the Year award. Darryl is the peer support worker on the Mental Health Outpatient ACT team, a position he has held for 4 years. People come from offices near and far to hear hilarious stories about his dogs, Willow and Daisy, proud dad moments about his children's accomplishments, and heartwarming stories about how much he loves and admires his wife, Shelley. Darryl will help you move on the weekend, repair your car, give you a steak marinade recipe, and most importantly, he never takes the last of the office Timbits. Now that you have a small picture in mind, let me tell you a bit more about what it's like to work with Darryl. Darryl doesn't simply exercise the hospital's values, he epitomizes them. Take accountability, for example. Sure, Darryl shows up to work 30 minutes early every day, but there's probably a few other candidates who do that as well. Darryl goes above and beyond to ensure that not only he is accountable for his work, but that the ACT team is accountable for the services we provide. One time it was discovered at 3:30 p.m. on a Friday afternoon that a client's visit was missed. No one had to ask Darryl. He immediately grabbed the phone and called the client to offer a support visit. He didn't just do this because it was unfair to our client to miss a visit, but also because he knew the hospital and the ACT team are accountable for providing a certain level of support, and due to no fault of his own, we had not provided that level of care. Darryl corrected the team's mistake independently without mentioning it to anyone, without taking credit. If I was not his office mate, no one would know he had taken that visit. Being his office mate has also given me the opportunity to witness and learn from his professionalism. As you can imagine, our days working in mental health can be draining, emotionally and physically. You'd never know that working with Darryl. He presents as professional, experienced, helpful, and driven, regardless of what work is thrown at us that day. If a spontaneous task is given to him after he's just finished completing one, he takes a deep breath, grabs his bag, and is out the door to give the next client his 100%. That level of professionalism is evident in his approach to teamwork. As I mentioned before, Darryl is the first to offer help, well before it's asked of him. Beyond just sharing the workload, Darryl is someone team members come to for help. With our job comes many difficult days. Days we wish we could have done more for clients, days we're sad for the pain one of them is going through. When new staff join our team, they quickly realize Darryl is someone they can go to when they need to debrief these types of situations. He is able to connect with team members and helps them rebound back from tough days. When it comes to respect, I could easily talk about how respectful he is of colleagues and fellow staff. He shows outstanding respect at the office without question. But instead of coworker respect, I'd rather focus on the respect he shows for our clients, a population often overlooked. Darryl is able to channel respect for our clients with mental illness in some of the most difficult situations. He focuses on sympathy and empathy when many others would easily jump to frustration. He continues to push for the most dignified ways to support our clients. His respect for them is obvious if you spend just a few minutes speaking with him about his work. This brings us to compassion. As I mentioned, frustration is an easy response to some of our work situations. Often we have clients who seem to work against their best interest. You could spend hours being upset about this. Or, if you're Darryl, you'll try to put yourself in that person's shoes and understand, and then explain to the rest of the team why that person might be making the decision they are. Tell him that every ACT team in Ontario would be lucky to have a Darryl, and their clients would be better for it. Darryl doesn't just share the workload, he takes on the extra stuff. He comes to the rescue of clients and he helps his coworkers. He not only respects our clients, but demands they be respected. He's never in a bad mood and he pushes us to work together as a team. I'm not just saying these things because we share an office. I was asked to nominate Darryl on multiple occasions by different ACT staff on our team. Albeit, none of them offered to make this video for me. I thank you on behalf of all of us for accepting our nomination of Darryl Lessard for the What Team Member of the Year. Also, I should mention, he is going to be super embarrassed when he finds out we did this. On top of all these amazing traits, he's also humble, and he minimizes his impact at every opportunity. Last week, he called himself lucky when he found housing for a client of ours who was facing homelessness. This client was not his prime client, and he was not in charge of looking for a place for them to live. But first thing in the morning, when he heard that they would be homeless that afternoon, he picked up the phone and called a bunch of places anyway before he began his regular day's work. And he found a place none of us had thought of. That's not luck. That's just Darryl. Thank you for always showing up for our clients and for our team. Thank you for being someone whose clinical judgment we all trust and for being someone we know will always have our back.